letters, sounds, amazing. You get to sit here for probably 20, maybe 30 minutes, and I get to nerd about sounds. Yeah, they do be making sounds and stuff. You know, right into it. We got this A, right? This A, standard A. You find it in like nearly every Romance language. This one isn't a Romance language. Mostly. This is ah. That little A means ah. What I'm pretty sure it's closer to is it's actually this one right there. I had to remember that. Yeah, that's ah, like in Spanish. La comida. That was wrong emphasis, but whatever. This thing is ah. Big difference between ah and ah. Like the ah you use in apple or that or mat. I don't know. But this letter right here, specifically this one that's here, this is called ash. You know, it has the ah sound in it, ash. We used to use it in English, but we decided not to because, I mean, it looks kind of weird. I can kind of understand. E. This is eh. Like an breath or I can't think of anything else. But yeah, eh, eh, eh. You'll see this a lot. This is like the most neutral vowel in the language, right? Or in most languages, it's the most neutral vowel. Like you're going to see N quite a bit. You're going to see N. Yeah, I don't know I did that. You're just going to see E's a lot. But don't say E, because I know us as English speakers, we have a very bad habit of doing that. Or we pronounce this 4 different things, which is its own thing. This down here, though, the ER is different. This is You use this Now, it's a tad bit different in the language. Like, let's use this verb. This is klater. It's not like It doesn't have that super hard R, but it's hard enough to where you can tell, because a normal R is not that hard in this language, right? So, klater. You know, use for everything, like, pretty much anything you put on is going to be a comparison between something. You know, I already had something on this, like colder, hotter, stuff like that. You put at the end of it. When you see here, when you see that ER beside each other, you pronounce it as not Unlike in Spanish, it would be if this was normal. So it would be klater. Doesn't make any sense. However, if has a vowel after it, so if I speak, it would be era. Instead of clatera. Doesn't sound right? It's clatera. Just remember, there's a vowel after it. The R is normal. I is an E sound. It is not I. I is actually that. It's a diphthong. So realize that whenever you say I am, you're actually saying I am. There's food for thought. Yeah, but E. I-E beside each other. I kind of got this from Dutch. This is also E. It's just a spelling quirk. But if you see a circumflex E next to it, it's yeah. Yeah. The E is pronounced. This funny little one down here, which I think is the coolest letter in the whole language, I'm not gonna lie. This looks so cool in every word. Like, I can make up a fake word and it would look awesome. Like, sure, why not? That's probably an actual Icelandic word. But like, look, that looks awesome. You would pronounce it as Hitha. Hitha. So right. The I with an accent on it is I. 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 Like in sit. Or different. Or GIF. Not GIF. It's not GIF. It's GIF. So hope you know that. The sound of the vowel is the same in both of those, though. O is O. O. Like in the Spanish with O. You know? Like to hear is oír. Oír. But it's O. O. It's not O. It's O. O. And O with the circumflex over it is pronounced as Not the unstressed vowel we use, which would look like, let me go back to the IPA one. It would look like this. We use it a lot. You know, let's say in the word gonna, because we use that a lot. It would look like this. Gonna. We use two of those unstressed vowels. Because stressing vowels are so hard, we're not going to say gonna or gonna. Gonna. Something like that. No, we just say gonna. But this one is stressed. It's a stressed sound. So instead of it's like in utsa. It's not utsa. It's utsa. This funny little O right here at the slash through it. Normally it has a weirder sound. That's a bit closer to this one. But in this it's a diphthong. And it's a specific diphthong. You won't see E and U beside each other because this one replaces it. It's O. O. Thing is, what I should put here is I should put these because they blend together. They aren't like separate, right? So if you say U, normally the accent can go on either of them. When you say O, it's always on. It's kind of blended and flat, right? It doesn't have that accent, but it could. But I didn't want it to. The U is U. U. We don't use this one very much. We kind of say more. We do use it. It's just, it's a little bit less stressed than it is in other languages and this one. But it's U. Like in you, right? We say you in it. Also, U is a diphthong, if you want to know about that. Let me type it out, right? So U would be something like, where's the Y on the IPA keyboard? I have no idea why I did this. Wait, hold on, IPA. It's a vowel on this. It would look like U, because you use a, like an unstressed in the middle of it, which is why it's spelled with 3, because it was probably said differently. At one point, I wasn't in England in like 1400, so I can't tell you. But if you listen to it closely, when you say you, you're not saying you. You're saying you. It's not very heard, but you know it's still there. Still there. Food for thought yet again. Now consonants. These are fun. Very fun. CH, like in English, for the most part, make a ch sound. You can also use this C with the I actually forgot what that's called. But that little arrow pointing down on it, you can use that as well. You know, you can. Like, chalpor is to force. So we have, chalpor. You can also just do chalpor. I don't know why I said it twice, but yeah, like they're the same letter. They say the same thing. But what does T in that little symbol right there mean? Is this is blended into one thing. So when you do ch, you start in the T position, and it's voiceless, so that's why you do it in the first place. And then this like weird, like old SF looking thing is the sh sound. So when you do CH, it's t, sh, ch, ch, ch. So yeah, that was a bit different from the actual one. But yeah, it's ch, ch, ch. B is but, just like we use, like in but and but Two different words. D is d, 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 d. When we put a D and an R together in English, we use this a dr, dr, dr. So the D turns more into like a J sound, but a D normally, when a vowel is next to it, is usually duh, 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 duh. Like in dad, or death, or dare, or any other word that starts with D and has a vowel after it. This weird little letter, it's called ev. I've spoken about it before. It's the v sound. Voiced, dental, fricative. It's a fun thing to say. F is the f sound, like in fun, and flip, and fa. This is a G, and this makes the g g g g g g sound, like in goo goo gaga, goo goo gaga. H, this is one of the silent letters. So you have 3 silent letters, and how these work is that, well, it says it right here. You only pronounce it as when a vowel is after it. If a vowel is not after it, it is silent. I've gone over this before with ot, which is how you make like pretty much the equivalent to in English. That H is only there for spelling, because if you put ot at the end of something, it would, it would be otot, pretty much. If you put ot at the end of a word without that silent thing, you couldn't tell if it's like which is kind of a problem in English, but I wanted to get rid of those problems to make it a bit easier so you could tell. So whenever you see that H next to a T, you always know that it's, it's that thing. I forgot what it was called, but yeah, it's that comparison particle. Now HH makes this kind of the same sound as a Dutch G, or like the CH in German in most dialects. And there's 2 here, in fact 3, but the weirder one is weird because it's kind of a subtlety that you can't hear as much. But the reason I did that is because these first 2 are kind of hard for English speakers to pronounce, especially now. We actually used to have them in our language in Old English, but we got rid of that sound, right? So HH is a sound. It's either or it's that perforated vowel, like the word marujo. I did that wrong. Marujo, or marujo. If you just try to perforate that vowel, like marujo, it's hard to do at first, but with some practice you can probably get it. I used to not know how to do that sound at all until 2 months ago, and now I can do it just fine. So it shouldn't take too long. You just gotta get that. Do the soft one first. It's way easier. The J, we use it a lot, like in jail and junk, jump. A lot of juzz, yeah. What this D and this thing is, I'm pretty sure in English we called it yoh, but this is different in IPA. So this little 3 looking thing right here is actually this sound as well, which is the j, 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 j. I'll cover this more later, but the j, 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 j. The reason there's a D on it is because you actually make both sounds when you say J. So like you have j second, but duh is first. So it's like j, 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 j. You see? You can use the Z with the dot over it because I feel like it'd look cool, but you don't need to because, yeah, like I had the Polish keyboard installed and I wanted to do something with it, so you can use a Z if you want to, but I think most people would be like, nah. Plus, J's are a pretty cool letter anyway. I think they look pretty sick, if you will. A K is a k sound. If you notice something, I don't have C's in this language. I guess I have the letter C, but I don't have the sound of a C because, especially when you get to Portuguese, you got like 4 different C's. I don't want to do that. I don't want any C's. I don't want any of them near my language because even in English, we already have 3 letters that mean the same thing. In this one, we have 2 letters that mean the same thing. And the only reason I have the other one, Q, here, is because I think Q looks cool. People be slacking on Q, I'm telling you. But K makes a k sound, like in kraken, or crack-lackin', my dudes, or anything with crack in it. Because there's a couple words with crack in it, right? L, la. La, like in law, love, lose, lucky. Yeah, the la sound. This is weird when you blend it, which I actually had this, but I'll get into that later when we get to R. M is a sound. N is a sound. The only difference is that with M, your mouth is closed. With N, your mouth is open. And also your tongue isn't pushed against your teeth as well, but I'm pretty sure you can do that anyway. Like, hold on. Pretty much the same. Whatever. But yeah, M, mouth closed. In, mouth open, right? You're naturally gonna let your tongue go off of the back of your teeth when you pronounce them anyway, so don't worry about it. P, like in purse and pocket and parent. Yeah. Q, just went over that. K, like in kue, which is day, or kue lao, which is week. It literally means day group. That's kind of funny. R. This is a flapped R. This is weird for English speakers because we have hard R's. We're one of the few languages in the world that has these hard R's, which I think is cool, but it also sounds kind of stupid in this language, so you flap the R's. Like I had earlier up here, the word chao por. Did you hear that? You don't have to trill, you just have to flap. You get your tongue and you start down around your teeth and then you flick it up. That's the R sound. You also voice it in the middle of it. So like chao po. Now the sound is probably going to naturally come out, but don't worry about that. You know, I'm not going to put the chao por because is accented, so that's pronounced. But if it isn't, it's just practice on flapping. You literally start near your teeth and then flick it up. S makes a sound like in slither and snake and snoop and sexual assault charges 1974. SH makes the sh sound like in shush and shoe and shall and shucks and shuckle. T is the t. Now, I want to get into something with T later. Going to be a little bit of a rant, but we'll just keep that on hold. V is V, like in V. Yeah, that's a pretty good example there. W is the second of the silent vowels. When it's next to something, it makes a whoa, 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 whoa. Your mouth starts in, goes out, right? This is kind of a thing specific to us. I know in Japanese, when they say something like wa, 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 they don't open their mouth like that as much. But with the W, I just went with the standard one that we use in English, which is the w, like in welcome and weather, while, stuff like that. But if it's followed by a consonant, not pronounced. This thing. I love this letter so much. Thorn, my favorite letter, right? And as you could tell from thorn, which looks like a weird mix of porn and born, this makes a sound, the voiceless dental fricative. Now we used to have this thorn in English, but we stopped using it because, I don't know, I guess we wanted to be more like Latin. Even though okay, so the lowercase one is the thing that was made from the Latin script. The uppercase one is actually an old rune, and I think that's really cool. Just a little fact. Why? Now this J does not mean J. That's actually a yeah sound, like in yard and young, you, yither. Yeah, but if this is followed by a consonant as well, not pronounced. No. Z is a z sound, like in Z and zebra and zebra.